who will make it to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the European Football All-Time channel, and today welcome to my Champions League round of 16 second leg predictions. Tomorrow night and on Wednesday we will find out the 8 teams that will march on to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Lots of teams, well most of the teams really, requiring big comebacks. Will they happen? We'll have to find out, so make sure to smash a like, subscribe. Let's get into the video. Okay then, and the first game is from the Estadio Jose Alvalade, where it is Sporting Lisbon taking on Bodø Glimt. Now, Bodø Glimt currently lead 3-0 after the first leg in northern Norway last week. Goals from Sondre Fett, Ole Blomberg and Kasper Hoff getting a 3-0 lead for Bodø Glimt to take to Lisbon tomorrow night. Now, Bodø Glimt, most likely, they will probably just sit back and defend for the whole game. They'll let Sporting have a lot of the ball. They're going to let Sporting have chances. But we saw it in the second leg in the playoffs against Inter Milan. They defended quite well, Bodø Glimt. And Inter were the better team. Inter had some good chances. But Bodø Glimt came out 2-1 winners. And obviously, you know, Sporting have got to go for it, obviously. They've got no choice. They're going to have to go for it, Sporting. Bodø Glimt, I think if Bodø get an early goal, on the game plan probably tomorrow for Bodø Glimt, they'll sit back and they'll try and hit him on the counter. That's probably what Kjetil Knutsen will try and do, and it probably might work really. Obviously, Sporting have got to try and keep Bodø Glimt out, which it is going to be difficult because the way Bodø Glimt attack at teams is just unbelievable. But we got to remember as well, Bodø Glimt away from home haven't been great. Yes, I know that recent away record in the Champions League has been quite good, to be fair. They did win at the San Siro, they did win at the Wanda Metropolitano, and they did get a point at Signal Iduna Park. So I mean, I don't know, I might be just chatting a bit of shit there, to be honest. But well, overall their away record just in Europe in general isn't great, but the last few away games in Europe have been good. So I mean, to be fair, I like Bodø Glimt, you know, so they're doing well. So fair play to him. But in the end, I think Bodø Glimt will go through, to be honest. Like I said, it probably will be a bit similar to the Inter Milan game. But I'm going to go with a draw. Sporting Lisbon 1, Bodø Glimt 1. What is that? Sorry, it's just a fly. Cough. But yeah, anyway, the next game is Arsenal versus Bayer Leverkusen. Now, it was a 1-1 draw in Germany last week. I was quite surprised really, because I thought Arsenal, Leverkusen, they're not the greatest team. Arsenal will be too strong. I thought Arsenal would win the game, but clearly not. Fair play to Leverkusen. I thought Leverkusen probably the better team really. It wasn't really a great performance from Arsenal at all. Obviously Arsenal conceded from a corner. When was the last time you saw that happen? God knows. But in all honesty, I think what Arsenal missed a key player. Arsenal missed a key player in that game, and that key player was Martin Odegaard. A player like Martin Odegaard is what Arsenal needed. They just needed a bit of creativity in that game, Arsenal. I think if they would have had someone like an Odegaard in there, I think they probably would have been a bit better. But you know, Leverkusen, you know, if they will believe Leverkusen, because they played really well in the first leg, and they'll believe they can go to the Emirates and potentially knock them out. But that is the problem really Leverkusen have, is that they are away from home, and also Arsenal at home this season have been very good. I think Arsenal have only lost one game at the Emirates all season. You know, it's a very tough place to go, the Emirates. I don't think a team has won. I don't think a Champions League team has won at the Emirates this season. So it'll be, if Leverkusen do it, then fair play to them. It'll probably be a bit of a similar game. Personally, Leverkusen probably might be a bit defensive and try hit him on the counter, which it could work potentially. Who knows? But in the end, I think Arsenal will get the job done. I think they'll get it done in 90 minutes. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 home win for Arsenal. Okay, next up is Chelsea versus PSG. Now, PSG won 5-2 in the first leg last week. And I did watch this game, really. And Chelsea, they just absolutely fell apart. They capitulated, Chelsea, in the final 50 minutes. I thought Chelsea, for most of the game, They played well. They were in the game. You know, it was 2-2 heading into the final 15 minutes. And if Chelsea could have kept it at 2-2, I thought they probably would have had a chance. But really, after Jorgensen gave the ball away and Vitinha scored, just from that moment, really, PSG just took control for the rest of the game. And Chelsea, they just let it slip. They just let it slip. They absolutely capitulated. And even on the weekend against Newcastle, I don't think it was great from Chelsea either. And Chelsea need an absolute miracle, really, to turn this game around. But you just look at the way PSG play, attacking football. Plus, as well, they've had a lot more preparation for this game. PSG's league game against Nantes was postponed on the weekend. So, obviously, PSG... Well, the French league allowed that game to be postponed to allow PSG to have more preparation time, really. But in the end, I think PSG will get the job done, really. If Chelsea do come back, then fair play to them. Obviously, Stamford Bridge, you know, the atmosphere should be good. The Chelsea fans have got to get behind the team. But like I said, in the end, I just think PSG will be too strong. So my prediction is Chelsea 1, PSG 3. Okay, next up is Manchester City against Real Madrid. Now, Real Madrid, surprisingly, won 3-0 in the first leg. I think, if I'm correct, a first ever hat-trick in his career for Federico Valverde. And I tell you what, I was not expecting that. Obviously, I didn't watch the game. Of course, like I said a minute ago, I was watching PSG versus Chelsea. But I was on stream. And from what my mates were saying, and from watching the highlights as well, Man City just... I mean, Man City started well, but ever since Madrid scored, they just kind of took a bit of control, really, in the game, really. I mean, realistically, after Valverde made it 1-0, City just... I don't know, they kind of just a bit crumbled, really. They kind of just crumbled, really, City. And obviously, Madrid got the second goal and the third goal. And I tell you what, some of the defending from the Madrid goals from City was really, really bad. And I did see as well after the game, some City fans, you know, saying that, Pep got the lineup wrong and stuff, which, I mean, maybe you could argue, because I think he started about 4 wingers or something, which it's very weird from Pep, really. I mean, it was a bit of a better performance on the weekend. Yeah, Man City drew, but Man City for most of that game at West Ham were the better team, really, and they did have some good chances to win it, but they just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. And that's what Man City... Something similar might happen in this game, I think. I think it'll be really interesting to see how Real Madrid set up. They're 3 goals ahead. Are they just going to sit back all game and allow Man City to have all the ball and all the possession? Because it is risky if they do that, because Man City have got the quality to hurt teams on the break. You know, they've got Semenyo and Foden and Cherki and Haaland, etc. Or will it be, you know, Madrid sit back and hit him on the break potentially? I mean, I'll do that again. Or will Madrid just sit back and hit Real Madrid on the break? Who knows, really? But some positive news for Real Madrid. I think this is true. I'm not too sure. Apparently, Mbappe is back for this game, so that is big for Real Madrid. But for Man City, if they wanted to try and turn this around, they've just got to go. They've got to go for it first of all. And I'm sure every Man City player, everyone connected with Man City knows they've got to go for it. But also as well, they can't concede. If they concede, then the task just gets that much harder. And I think it's so important, and I said this on stream at the end of the first leg last week, Man City, if they've got to start the first 20, 30 minutes strong, if they can get a goal as well, Man City, if they go 1-0 up in the first 20 minutes to 30 minutes, then potentially the comeback could be on. And in all honesty, this is what I think will happen. I do think Real Madrid will sit back. They're 3 goals up. That's what I think they'll do, in my opinion. I do think Real Madrid will score, but I do think Man City will start strong. I think they will go 1-0 up. I think they'll go 2-0 up. Then I think Real Madrid will score. And then I think Man City will score again. So I've gone with a 3-1 win to Manchester City. 4-4 on aggregate. It's going to go all the way to penalties. And I think Manchester City are going to win on penalties. Man City to do the remontada. Will it happen? We'll have to find out. Okay, let's talk about the Real Madrid rivals actually in Barcelona against another English club in Newcastle. Now, it was a 1-1 draw at St James's Park last week. I didn't watch this game because I had to watch Spurs. But from what I heard, it was a very good performance from Newcastle. Apparently Newcastle, the better team really for most of the game, obviously. But obviously Newcastle conceded that late penalty, which Lamine Yamal scored. But if Newcastle can definitely believe they can knock out Barcelona, because, like I just said, Newcastle apparently were very good in the first. They were the better team for most of the game, Newcastle. But it's just, I mean, I watched Georgie Josh's video, and all Newcastle fans at the end of the game, they just look so devastated that they obviously conceded that late penalty. And the mood inside St James's Park from just watching that video, it looked like Newcastle had lost that game, but they didn't, and they played so well, but it was just that penalty they conceded at the end, which is so disappointing. But it is going to be difficult because Newcastle away from home haven't been great, well, apart from the weekend, because they did get a good win down at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea. But overall, their away form this season, Newcastle, hasn't been great, and obviously Barcelona will be favourites. They are at home. I think they got a good, I think they won 5-2 at home, I think, against Sevilla. Barcelona, I'm not sure how Barcelona's home record has been this season, but I assume it's been quite strong. But Newcastle, like I said about Man City, Newcastle got to go for it. I think they will go for it. I think Newcastle will be feeling confident after the first leg. But I just think in the end, with Barcelona being at home, being the home team, I just think they'll get the job done, in my opinion. It'll be a tight game, 1 goal in it, with a 1-goal margin. So I'm going to go 2-1 to Barcelona. Okay, next up is Bayern Munich versus Atalanta. I mean, we could get on with this very quickly. Bayern Munich 6-1 up. I mean, there's absolutely no chance Atalanta are coming back from this. There's no chance Atalanta are coming back from this. And if they do, I'll be completely amazed. Bayern Munich will win quite comfortably. I'm going to go 3-0 Bayern. It'll be an easy win. They'll get the job done. Okay, next up is Liverpool versus Galatasaray at Anfield. Now, Liverpool are currently 1-0 down after the first leg. The former Wolves player, in fact, Mario Lemina, with the only goal of the game, giving Galatasaray this lead. Now, obviously, Liverpool, they are still in the tie. It's only a 1-goal difference. And they'll have the advantage, Liverpool. They are at home. And Champions League nights at Anfield, the atmosphere is always good, really. And I didn't actually know this, by the way, until I watched JSM's video. Apparently, there's going to be no Galatasaray away fans. So that is a massive advantage for Liverpool. However, Liverpool obviously played my team, Tottenham Hotspur, on the weekend. And it wasn't a great performance from Liverpool, I have to say. Considering how bad Spurs are, Liverpool actually made us look quite good, really. And I just think it just wasn't a great performance overall. You know, they were leaving quite a lot of gaps and stuff. And they can't really afford to do that, to be honest with you. And, they can't really afford to do that, to be honest. They just can't really afford to do that, to be honest. And, like I just said, Liverpool are, how can I word this? They have an advantage. Like I said, they're at home. There's going to be no Galatasaray fans. That's a big advantage for Liverpool. But from watching that performance yesterday against my team, Spurs, I don't know, really. I just don't know with Liverpool. I don't know, to be honest. You know, I mean, the fans seem to... They're starting to lose a bit of... They're just starting to lose the manager a little bit, to be honest. The fans are starting to lose it with the manager. I mean, you could tell yesterday they weren't happy with how they played Liverpool. And if Liverpool played how they did against us, then I wouldn't be surprised if they get knocked out, to be honest. And to be honest, I think they're going to get knocked out. I think it's going to be 2-1 to Liverpool in 90 minutes. But I think Galatasaray are going to score in extra time. And I think it's going to end 2-2. And Galatasaray are going to go through after extra time. I don't know what it is. But just from watching that game yesterday, I just have a feeling it's... Yeah, I'm just going to say it. 2-2 after extra time. Galatasaray to go through. And the final game is my team, Tottenham Hotspur versus Atletico Madrid. And really need a massive remontada as we got absolutely pumped 5-2 in the first leg. 4-0 down after 25 minutes. It was an absolutely terrific. It wasn't terrific. It was a very poor, not even poor. It was an embarrassing first, 20 minutes really. At the Metropolitan. But after that, we settled down. We got back into the game. I thought second half was a bit better. But to be fair, the game yesterday, it's given me a little bit of belief coming into this that maybe there's a chance we could turn it around. Because that game yesterday was the best I've seen Spurs play in quite a while, to be honest. And the players were fighting. They showed desire. And they just wanted it, and they went for it, and we did get something in the end. And you probably could argue that we were quite unlucky not to win this game, really. And plus as well, we have got the home advantage in this tie. And knowing Atletico Madrid, they're 3 goals up, and knowing that, they'll probably sit back. That there were 4 goals up in the Copa del Rey semi-final against Barcelona. They just pretty much just sat back the whole game. So they'll probably do something similar here. But I think if we start an attacking lineup, then if we just get in Atleti's faces, we can start the game strong and get an early goal, then maybe it is possible. But at the same time, just both of our keepers are pretty shit, and defensively it's a bit and Atleti do have the quality going forward in Griezmann and Alvarez, and we saw that in the first leg. So I'm going to go with a draw. Tottenham 2, Atletico Madrid 2 is my prediction. It'll be an improved performance from the first leg, but we are going to be going out, unfortunately. Which you probably could say is a good thing, actually, considering where we are in the league and stuff. But yeah, that's the end of the video. So smash a like, subscribe, let me know your predictions in the comments. Do you agree with me? Let me know, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.